I want to bring forward another analysis using the euphoria frequency, which I think it says is 21 hertz. A little higher. So what? I can't help but notice, and my dad's the one that pointed this out. He said, watch the commercials. Since Joe Biden's taken over, everyone in the commercials is in a mixed racial relationship. And I was like, what do you know? And this old lady goes, she's got white hair, but she's one of these actresses that has white hair, and she's going to go take her whirlpool bath. She looks like a normal lady, somewhat attractive, just got the white gray hair situation. I'm like, that's what you need, Father. Actually, I said that's what I needed first. But then they place her with a black fellow. Now, I don't really recognize myself as being racist like that, because I've slept with black women. I have. More than one. Definitely one. Maybe two. And I had a blast. I liked it. Did I have a black girlfriend? No, but nearly in 10th or 11th grade, I nearly did. By some circumstance. There was a girl that, it might have been younger than that. There was a black girl that we went to school with that was like the headbanger girl. She was black. Not the darkest of black, but she was black. She had a thing for me. And having found that out, I had a thing for her. Then they moved her away. Not because of me. Nothing, we were too young in school but I liked her. And I would have gone out with her without a problem. But now, when I see white girls that completely act like hood, the way they talk, all that shit with black people disturbs me. It does. Now, I think why that is because everybody has some form of, they want their traits and their genetic and their traditions and their shit to pass onward, to go forward. And with the subclass of white boy or girl, I've noticed they already dispossess any of the cultural characteristics. Is it because they don't have any? They have that white toast blandness that some people, like non-regional dialect sounding news people, certain professions strive for. You understand what I'm saying? Certain professions strive for. So they have no outstanding features. They don't wear the lederhosen on the German holidays. They don't wear the wooden shoes on the Dutch holidays. They don't, Spain is white. In case you don't know that, Spanish people are white people. Be advised. You might not think that if you're to see some video of Spain and you see people talking Spanish and it sounds familiar to you and you're from like the South United States. You're going to be like, oh, those are Mexicans. Well, why are you saying all this? A lot of people talk about racism, but they really don't want to get a handle and look at it. Are we racists? No. Do we have inherent traits that are specific to our race that cause different deviations of habits of, how we interact with other people? Yes. That's not racism. That's not racism, though. That's just your inherent cultural identity. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what you have to know? First of all, that you have that, and there's nothing wrong with it. The people that have told you that there's something wrong with it is normally the left. And to insert some weird ideology into you so you can be queer theory. The fuck is that? I don't know. I don't know. The original word for gay was gay, and gay meant to be like happy. You know, queer is just odd. Oh, that's queer. It didn't have the sexual connotation it does now before. It was added on. It was magnetized. It was crunched onto it. So in certain situations, when I see really beautiful Caucasian features in a lady, and you're like, man, I wonder what her children would look like, and what the children, you would wonder. The mind wonders, because it runs these programs in the background already. It's looking at someone, if you think they're attractive, and it's making children, and it's facially producing possible features for the background running of your mind, whether you know it or not. Because if you thought about it, it's already going on. These are processes, and they go on. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because you pulled the fucking cover off of something and look at it doesn't mean you don't just put the cover right back up. That cover is just like a mental band-aid. It holds in different layers of thinking that aren't really applicable to the day-to-day process. But it still behooves you to look at your motives and shit like that. I know that sounds fucking retarded and stupid, but it's sound advice. Now, when I don't like it and I see that, I've looked at it and I see that it's that inherent will to pass on the genetics. And seeing that that's being halted, I don't like that either. And it may be a lack of appreciation for the mulatto class. Isn't that what they call the third shade of dildo? Mulatto? Caucasian, black, mulatto. I guess you could be Spanish as well. But they mix the two and they give you this weird brand of skin tone associated with mixed racial, and they say it's mulatto. Sounds like gelato to me, but I don't want to eat it. No, I don't want to eat it at all. But, so what does it mean? Are people racist? People have characteristics that are inherited from their race. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make people are actually, when you sweep away, when two cultures come together, they have to interact. Almost in every case, history shows us a period of time where there's racism or whatever. Because the two cultures, as yet, they don't know each other. They don't know. Now, white people must have known something about black people because they were already having them as slaves. They had other people as slaves too. And other people have been slaves throughout time. So what you know culturally about people that you enslave is limited because you're not open to experiencing their culture normally. You're taking their names, wiping their culture, and just trying to make someone to do your shit. Now, that's the same process that occurs with the rich and the poor. Is it racism? No. It's domination. When a society is dominating another society and that's their goal, there's not going to be the same relationship that occurs having all these years, what have we had? We've had the 1900s with black people and white people together. We've had half almost of the 1800s without people that are in a enslaved state. And in that time, we've become so familiar with black people that we readily will marry them and have children. I would marry a black woman. I would have kids. I would. What I'm saying doesn't. I'm pulling from you the cover of the analysis of the feelings. Like, imagine that there's different organs and viscous body parts in here, and it's got a layer of skin on it, because you feel that in different parts of your body. You feel it in your tissues. You can get a migraine headache. A lot of different sensations and activities translate over into body sensations, and that's just the way it is. But when you peel that off and you look at those things, moving and living and having life, and you connect, what is the issue? What's the point? Like, if I'm saying multiracial relationships, then you can look at it and see that there's a dynamic there that is personal to everyone, because you have genetics, and your genetics want to pass themselves on. That's bred into you. Much energy. Do you know how many calories of your body every day are fucking devoted to fucking sexual reproduction? Off the fucking charts. Look at it. I'll look it up. But I'm telling you, it's a god awful amount. So really all we got to do is look, be able to communicate freely, see, and then we can explain and understand things that people will be trying just to press the button. And then we can explain to other people in such a way as our gifts allow us to communicate. And that is a great service now because of the paucity of ignorance that we have. We have the paucity of ignorance, of not being truthful in society. High level, very high. So don't lie to yourself, people. And don't lie to anyone else. Find the truth within yourself. Bring that truth to someone else so they can find that truth in their self too. And then we can win. We don't have to worry about all this fucking stupid shit.